Stop sleeping on Yuji. The demon god, as said by Choso, has become criminally underrated, and specifically his potential has become underestimated. Gojo has put him, Megami, Yuta, Hikari, and some other students on a pedestal as students he believes have great potential to rival him or surpass him one day. What makes Yuji scary is his level of growth he has shown for a person who learnt Jujutsu extremely late. First, him being a vessel for the king of curses, Sukuna, is already a crazy feat, with Gojo specifically specifying there hasn't been a person with his talent in 1,000 years. This is further enforced in the fanbook/wiki, where they say that there are two scenarios for what would happen if Yuji were to eat a death painting. If instead of Sukuna he ate a death painting, the consciousness of the curse room will disappear and Yuji will get its cursed energy. Moreover, with what we learned from chapter 199, when reincarnated sorcerers merge with their vessel, they most likely consciously or subconsciously overpower their vessel. This further highlights Megami's initial worry about Sukuna incarnating, and with him stating it's a 1 in 100 chance the worst case scenario occurs. However, Yuji was able to suppress him, and even though we assume it has something to do with Kenjaku, we still don't know why he could do it, which highlights how crazy it is with the fact that he could receive the curse energy from a death painting as well. This means he's not just your average age sorcerer, and he's extremely special, being able to inhabit other vessels. Moreover, his ability to learn and adapt is one of the scariest we've seen in the series, and he's learned how to make his curse energy flow, which Gojo was surprised at how quick of a learner he was. He was able to maintain a conversation with Gojo without the curse corpse punching him, meaning he had made great strides to controlling the flow of his curse energy. He then learned Divergent Fist, which he used in the first encounter against Mahito. When paired up with Todo's simple instruction of "do you still want to be weak?" he dramatically began to grow, and Todo highlighted how he's being able to adapt and become more competent in a fight. After Todo's explanation about curse energy and his confusion of "we exist in this world with our entire body and soul," Yuji replies with "he gets it," and we see him grow exponentially from one fight with Todo. Later on in the Goodwill event, we see that Todo forces him to fight on his own until he can hit black flashes, and then we later see him hit 4 consecutive black flashes, which is tied for the world record, meaning his understanding of curse energy is immeasurable, and we see his whole curse energy dramatically rise. One thing that is important is his mentality. One thing that has been important to Yuji is the growth of his mentality. First, I'll talk about it within fights. In the fight with Hanami, Yuji gets slapped up by Todo to control his emotions, and straight after hits his first ever black flash. Another example is Todo restoring his mental sanity back again in Shibuya, which allowed him to hit black flashes during the fight against Mahito, and then begin to become a proper threat to Mahito. Him initially getting cooked by Mahito at the start of the fight is also part of his mental state, which is an important aspect in fights in JJK. When they're in the right state of mind, they can clearly think of the right move to make and not use anger and sadness, which can be temporal buffs, however prevent you from fighting correctly, which are stated by Todo in the Goodwill event. A good example is the first fight against Junpei and Mahito, when he finally accepted the first breaking of his resolve and began to kill transfigured humans. This was big for him, and especially after his initial reaction to fighting against the transfigured humans and Mahito, he had grown so much in the small intervals in his fight that he began to finally realize what was important in regard to the fight. In addition, the fight against Gojo and Toji rematch. Gojo is honored one moment, doesn't regret the death of Riko, or care about everything else. It highlights why Gojo is so strong, because he has complete control of his emotions in fights to focus on the task at hand in tandem with his personality. The fight against Mahito specifically allowed him to reshape his resolve and highlight how weak his initial savior complex was, and now he's accepted his current situation of being a cog. Moreover, Gojo highlights how Itadori's mentality is scary, because he doesn't think twice against exercising curses and why he's such a menace against curses. However, this mentality was important in getting over the hurdle that was Mahito, and against curses, but it's also to why he may not become strong enough to fulfill his potential. Thus his mentality to fighting humans is different, and he prefer not to kill them, whereas someone like Megumi will kill people for selfish reasons regardless of it being right or wrong. Moreover, being a cog means he can't get that strong sense of individuality to reach the top, as his main focus is to help people and sacrifice his life for others. This is a key thing that will slow down his potential, and he needs to become more selfish, especially in fights against other sorcerers. I believe his mentality will be important to how he grows, but it's still very unlikely for him to adopt a level of selfishness such as Gojo, and he's a very selfish individual, and I'm excited to see how Gege develops this plotline. But how strong is Yuji currently? Yuji has great curse energy control and is able to use Divergent Fist on command now. He has shown to use Black Flash on numerous occasions, and it seems as if Gege is making Black Flash a technique to be prominently used by Yuji, with the fact that he doesn't have any curse techniques. His physical strength is insane, and he's a Diet Coke Maki/Toji, and his level of taijutsu is insane. Todo from his first appearance said that Toji is stronger than I am, and commented on his ability to maximize the environment in his fights. He makes up for his overall lack of Jujutsu by exceeding in his respective strengths to overpower his opponents. His durability is insane and one of the highest we've seen, tanking multiple blood attacks from Choso, tanking hits from a 200% Mahito, as well as Black Flash and multiple attacks from the special grade curse. Even in the fight against Higuruma with his curse energy taken away, he was able to tank the hammer. Higuruma stated for majority of regular sorcerers would not be able to survive without their curse energy/curse technique taken away. Even back in the first fight, he had his hands and body pierced from Mahito and was still on the offensive in the fight, and his willingness to put himself in dangerous situations is second to none and evident in him breaking into Mahito's domain. He also gets obviously poison immunity due to inhabiting Sukuna. I don't know if this is confirmed, but there's a potential with the more fingers Sukuna eats, the stronger Yuji gets. Now, even though I do agree that currently Megumi and Yuji specifically being grade 1 sorcerers are cut below between our Culling Games participants, I think people are completely overestimating the gap between them in regards to calling them overly weak and completely underpowered. His durability, his strength, his speed, without basically any curse techniques, is elite level. I feel as if people completely negate that fact because he's only against curses, and because of this they really downplay Yuji so much. And his ability to adapt to a lot of situations has become extremely underrated. His hand-to-hand combat is elite. His usage of curse energy and understanding of curse energy is prodigy-like. I think people don't take into account how quickly he learned his curse energy and even being able to manipulate it. I understand he has his flaw in Divergent Fist, but in essence it's given him a new level of dynamic, especially against sorcerers, because they don't expect somebody to have a flawed concept in their curse energy. But how strong can Yuji become? Gojo has said that he will inherit Sukuna's curse techniques, which will dramatically give him a huge buff to his current arsenal. However, there's things to be wary about him getting Sukuna's curse technique, and first that is the mentality to use the technique to the fullest. Sukuna is ruthless, and Cleave and Dismantle, or whatever his actual curse technique is, actually fits his personality, allowing him to use it to its fullest. Moreover, his curse energy control and knowledge of Jujutsu is why him using Cleave and Dismantle is such a dangerous technique, as well as his use of other things such as the flames, which shows he can just overpower people with different means. However, Yuji does not have that level of Jujutsu, nor the mentality to use slashing attacks, especially against other sorcerers. This will pose an interesting moral dilemma with Yuji and how will he grow from this obstacle. Another avenue of growth we could see him having is learning a domain counter such as domain amplification or new shadow style, which could help him guard against the strongest attacks in this series and begin to fix his fundamental lack of Jujutsu in his arsenal. However, I do believe Yuji will get his curse techniques, and we're going to be in a stage where he gets at least close to his potential and will become a dangerous sorcerer. And I'm very excited to see what Gege will do with his character. Thank you guys for watching, and what did you guys think of this video? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check the affiliate links down below for different anime merchandise.
Young millionaire mentality.
You want a drink, Alec, while you wait?